Greetings, everyone. So I actually had another video that I was planning to do today, but I realized it would be better if I just saved that one for a 100 sub special because it deserves a 100 sub special. But obviously I can't just not make a video because I'm beginning to forget about my upload schedule. And the last time I did that, I lost my channel for about 3 months, which isn't very good. I really wouldn't want to do that again because I'm beginning to be more active now. But we'll see how it goes. You may know that I do a lot of speedrunning CubeCraft Skyblock. I mainly speedrun getting 10,000 coins in 1 hour. Actually, I only speedrun doing that, but you get my point. But I've been beginning to do some long-term gameplay, like this, where I just do some chill Skyblock. I actually just today recorded and uploaded an hour and a half of me just playing the game. So today, I'm going to be giving you a tour of my Skyblock Island. Let's start off with the starting island. We have my bed. You can't actually sleep in a bed in CubeCraft Skyblock, which is a shame. We have my storage system with the amount of care of organization that I usually put into storage systems, which is self-explanatory. I have this spruce tree, so whenever I need wood, I'll just cut down the tree, and then I'll wait for saplings to grow, and I'll regrow it. And then I'll just have wood. We have a beetroot farm, a potato farm, and a pumpkin farm. Also part of the starting island is this. I'm gonna climb up here so I can show you what this is, or rather was. Whether or not you decide to believe it, this used to be a mob farm. I would place cow spawners right here, and the cows would just float down and fall down there. However, since then, I've upgraded to that. This is a farm that is much better than this. I'll get to it later because right now I have to explore the rest of the island. But I kind of just use that as a throne to sit on now. Also, sorry if my voice sounds stuffy. I've been sick for the last few days, so I hope that doesn't bother you. Next up is the Plains Island, and I'm going to be honest, this is by far the least interesting island out of all of them. And by uninteresting, I mean there's literally nothing here. After I moved the cow spawners, all that's left are these 3 cows that I guess I can just keep here. So instead of showing you the Plains Island, I'm just going to show you some general features instead. First off, I probably should have shown this at the start, but this is my coal farm. I don't know why I put them on the floor, but I guess I'll just keep them there. I also have these occasionally floating vines, which are actually a lot easier to get on Skyblock than you might think. All you really have to do is grow a jungle tree and then just break it. These things will just stay. Yeah, for some reason, they don't break. However, there's a feature that makes this island very special that I'm going to be saving for the end of the video because I don't want to spoil a surprise. This feature makes the island different from all other islands. Well, most others. Next up is the Cold Taiga Island. I've kind of evacuated most of the stuff from this island onto the main islands over there, but there's still a little bit of stuff here. Now, just like the cow spawners from the Plains Island, I moved the chicken spawners over to the farms, but there's still a few chickens here, and I think I'll just let them stay here. There's a few coal generators that I'm not going to move because I don't really want to move them. The farms on this island are the cobblestone generators, the lapis generators, and a very small but still pretty significant wheat farm. Next up is the jungle island. Just like the other islands, I have moved most of the stuff from the jungle island to organize other stuff. But there's still a few things here that I can show. First off, this is where I grow my jungle trees. Jungle trees used to be my main source of making money. Of course, now that is that farm that I made. One of these big jungle trees gave me about 10,000 coins an hour, which, if you've seen my speedruns, is slower than what I can achieve, but still. You may also recognize this. If you can tell me what this is from, good job, you're special. Just like the other islands, there is still an ocelot here, even though I moved the ocelot spawner a while back, and just like the others, he can move. I should probably actually let him out because, you know, he might want to get out. There we go. We also have this pretty substantial cocoa bean farm. Cocoa beans take 35 minutes to grow in Skyblock, which is a pretty substantial amount of time. So having a farm of this size makes sure you never runs out. Now we can get to the last island on my Skyblock profile. The desert island. Now, the desert island is still pretty unorganized because I actually just unlocked it today. I should probably clear these blocks out so you can see the island better because then you can see the island better. Now, I honestly think the desert island was a very great design by CubeCraft. Clearing this out was really fun. It was very challenging. I had to drop down in here, and I had to get rid of 3 different spawners. It was so fun. Now, there's a small wheat farm, but I'm probably never going to use this, so I'm just gonna toss this stuff out. We also have this pretty big cactus farm that I made that I'm just now learning isn't a very good farm because the cactus can get destroyed by the cactus. I know, it doesn't make very much sense. There's a couple of cocoa beans here and there, but other than that, there's not very much. Other than sand. I've been waiting for a while to get sand, because now I can get glass. Finally, what you've all been waiting for, I'm going to show you how this farm works. But before I do that, I want you to guess how much money does that farm make in 1 hour. Pause the video, put your guess in the comments, and then see if you were right. I can almost guarantee you were not right with your guess. Now, I fortunately got a water spiral that can send me up. I don't know what to call this other than a water spiral, even though it's not a spiral. This is the farm. What I've done here is I've gotten the spawners from other islands and put them all into one area here. This farm is spawning cows, spiders, and zombies all at the same time for them to fall down. Now, if we come all the way down here, we can see that all of the mobs fall down and die at the bottom. Now I can tell you how much money this farm makes. That amounts to around 100,000 coins in 1 hour. Now, I have actually made a staircase, although it's not yet finished down there because I want to make things more convenient. Now, if you've played CubeCraft Skyblock, which I don't think is possible, but still, if you've played CubeCraft Skyblock, you'd know that at my level, there would be more mobs than just those 3. Because on my island, I actually also have chickens and ocelots, which I'll just call cats right now because I don't have enough time for this video. The thing about chickens and cats is that neither of them actually take any fall damage in this game, meaning this farm wouldn't work on them because they would always just survive the fall. So I've made a second farm for them, which is much slower, but it still works. If I go inside this cube, I can see that there is a lot of ocelots and chickens. In this cube, the cats and the chickens spawn, they float up to the top, and then they drown. Once they do drown, they drop feathers, chicken, and string respectfully. Now, since I'm lazy, I didn't want to go in and collect all of that stuff every single time. So I just made this checkerboard pattern so that I'll be able to collect all of the stuff in between. So I have successfully built a farm for every animal on my CubeCraft Skyblock Island. So far. Finally, I'm going to show the feature of my island that makes this island very unique and unreplicatable. I'm gonna have to use my unfinished staircase so you'll be able to see this. If you go to this spot exactly right here, you can see these. It would actually probably be better if I jumped down to the farm so you could see this. You can see most of the water on my island falls all the way down to Y level -64. Now, I've built this platform at Y0 so you'll be able to see this. There's some water here that stops at Y0. The reason for this is because this profile was generated in 1.12.2 in the old days of CubeCraft. Back then, the Y level was still 0, so the water only flowed down to Y0. Now, I have to be careful with this water, because if I update it, I never get this water back. This water is very fragile, and is pretty much the only thing that will make my island stand out from other islands. Like, someone could have a completely maxed out island, but they won't have any of this water. Now, obviously, if you also have a CubeCraft Skyblock Island that's before 1.12, you can also get this water. So that was this entire island. So, leave a comment rating my island from 1 to 10. If you liked it, rate it a 10. If you didn't, don't rate it a 10. I still don't have an outro, sorry about that. So just bye.